So here we notice an error or a challenge that we have from creating the ceiling as a layer and then having it as a layer state for the first and second floor. To fix this so that we don't have the first floor visible when we have the rest of the first floor hidden, we want to actually assign the geometry within the group to the first floor layer. So notice that the first floor is on the ceiling layer. And if we double click and select all, which is Control A or Command A on a Mac, notice that all geometry is always drawn on layer 0. And I mentioned that before and stressed that to always draw on layer 0. Now here, we're going to change that a little bit. Instead of all this geometry being on layer 0, we want to in fact put this on the first floor layer. Let's go ahead and turn on the first floor layer. That way we can see it. And let's click off of the geometry. Click back on the second floor scene. And notice now that the first floor geometry now hides. And that is because the group itself is on the ceiling layer and the geometry within it is on the first floor. Let's do the same thing for the second floor. This time, let's select all and assign the geometry to the second floor so that now when we click on our first floor and our second floor, we can see into those settings. While we're here, let's add one more scene. And that scene is going to be to turn off the ceiling layer. And that's really beneficial sometimes when you want to work within your model and you don't want the ceiling to hide all the geometry that you're trying to create in there. So let's add this as a new scene. And let's just rename this No Ceiling. And let's move it down. So that way, when we're working on the overall, we have our ceiling in there. But when we're looking at details specifically within the floor, we can hide those. Remember also, you can select your geometry, press H just to hide it. And that way, you're not hiding the layer, you're just hiding the object. And remember, U will unhide. In the next section, let's add some detail to some of our ceilings.